Human Error in Healthcare Part 2. Next up is the GEMS model. Having had a significant impact in the field, it draws on cognitive psychology for its foundations. Skills-based activities refer to those tasks performed more or less automatically, while rule-based activities capture those moments where we apply specific rules, and knowledge-based activities describe where we consult, sometimes patchy, knowledge. But as with anything, errors can occur. Within skills-based activities, we have execution errors, such as slips, where an action is executed incorrectly, or lapses, where steps are missed. Planning errors arise in rule-based activities, along with rule-based mistakes, where a rule is misapplied. And in knowledge-based activities, there can be knowledge-based mistakes, where knowledge is either wrong or misapplied. Developed by Reason in 1990, the GEMS model has helped to shape the way we understand human performance and error. CREAM goes beyond the assumption that humans merely introduce errors into perfectly specified systems. It helps you model not only incorrect actions, but also the correct ones. CREAM analyzes action at 3 levels: person-related, organization-related, and technology-related. The method also identifies the possible causes or genotypes of errors in each of these levels. In person-related aspects, errors might arise from observation, interpretation, or planning. Organization-related errors may be traced back to communication, training, ambient conditions, or working conditions. Technology-related problems may include equipment failure, procedural flaws, temporary or permanent interface problems. Though CREAM doesn't offer a specific error taxonomy, it introduces generic phenotypes with which you can construct one. And amidst all of this, it's a known fact that humans are susceptible to slips and lapses. This is a reminder that errors often arise beyond our control. Our role as doctors and medical professionals is to acknowledge this complexity and to build strategies and systems that can effectively cope. Building effective systems revolves around acknowledging characteristic phenotypes. By understanding the common tendencies and behaviors of their users, system designers can create solutions that both empower and protect. A common reality we need to acknowledge is that humans, even the most skilled among us, are prone to error. Studies suggest that 61% of errors are skill-based, prominent during familiar tasks. In contrast, 28% of errors are rule-based and usually occur when tasks become especially challenging. Remarkably, 11% are knowledge-based, requiring novel reasoning from fundamental principles. Yet, is human error the only cause of system failures? While humans are the most visible face of system performance, they are merely part of a broader picture. Indeed, human error can be further divided into 2 types: active and latent. Active errors are associated with frontline operators, i.e., our doctors and nurses. They are directly involved in patient care and are often under immense pressure. In contrast, latent errors are related to activities removed in time and space from direct control interface. These are often created during the design process or by managers and supervisors and may include gaps in system maintenance. So how do we manage these errors? The answer lies in prevention, tolerance, and recovery. Preventing errors can be achieved through improved procedures, regular training, fostering a culture of safety, and smart user interface design that restricts the chance of inputting wrong data. By recognizing human error as an undeniable part of system design, we can create more robust, reliable, and resilient systems that help those who dedicate their lives to helping others, our invaluable healthcare workers. How do we prevent errors? It begins with meticulous procedures, rigorous training, cultivating an environment of safety awareness, and focusing on UI design that allows only valid choices. We create UI design with constraints on inputs and leverage decision support tools to anticipate and manage potential mistakes. When errors do occur, we strive for seamless recovery through undo capabilities and confirmation prompts. As healthcare professionals, we also look to understand and learn from mistakes. Here are 7 principles according to Woods and Cook. 1. We must pursue understories beneath the surface to discover multiple contributors. 2. Escape the hindsight bias. 3. Understand work as performed at the sharp end of the system. 4. Search for systemic vulnerabilities. Study how practice creates safety, identify underlying patterns, and examine how changes create new vulnerabilities. 6. Utilize new technology to support and enhance human expertise. 7. Lastly, tame complexity through new forms of feedback. The person approach to safety involves examining the errors of individuals, attributing blame to individual weaknesses. Contrastingly, the system approach goes beyond blaming individuals, examining the conditions or systems that may have led to the error. As doctors, we play a vital role in ensuring patient safety by striving for error prevention, the ability to tolerate and recover from errors, and continually learning to move forward. The solution may lie in the system approach. This method examines the isolated conditions one works under and looks ahead to build protective measures to prevent errors or minimize their impact. Following the model presented by high-reliability organizations can set the blueprint for such an approach. Designing for error allows us to visualize potential issues ahead of time and put the required knowledge into the world to navigate them. Instead of requiring people to remember every detail, the knowledge required is made available in accessible forms, ready to be consumed when needed. Though it's essential to understand that everyone requires unique forms of guidance. Part of this design includes creating forcing functions. These are physical or logical constraints that direct actions in a certain pattern. Think of interlocks. These sequences force certain events to happen. When you open a microwave door, it shuts off immediately. Or how a fire can only be extinguished by following specific instructions. We are all individuals with our own unique strengths and weaknesses, but with a systemic approach and strategic design, we have the power to leverage our expertise while protecting against potential errors. Leverage expertise, minimize error. In a world of complexities in and around the medical field, doctors need to turn every task into a predictable routine for efficiency. It is crucial to understand all aspects of certain actions and their outcomes. For instance, opening a microwave door automatically turns it off, or the very act of setting off a fire extinguisher involves removing the pin. Just like these examples, lock-ins and lockouts in actions hold importance too. Lock-ins are events that prevent you from performing a certain function in a specific context. A good example is how most modern computers won't allow shutdown if there's unsaved work. Lockouts, on the other hand, stop you from doing something altogether. Think about the design of a tall building. The stairs to the basement are often different, perhaps even gated, to stop people from mistakenly continuing to the basement during an evacuation. Design for error is an essential concept to incorporate into our daily tasks. To do this effectively, we need to narrow the gap between execution and evaluation. Make things visible. The outcome of each action must be clearly apparent to the user. It enables individuals to rectify their own errors if they recognize them. Double-checking is a crucial part of avoiding errors. But remember, correcting someone else's mistake can result in social conflicts, especially if that person is superior. Nevertheless, it's essential to provide assistance in a way that is situationally appropriate. In a fast-paced environment like a hospital, it's vital to be aware of when people may stop reading communications. Remember, every step taken in the right direction, however small, brings us closer to a more efficient and error-free work environment. In a world overcrowded with digital communication, people often skim over common error messages. If an unusual mistake arises, don't let it fade into the monotonous landscape of regular events. Instead, use these as unique opportunities for analysis and learning. Don't limit your error monitoring to technical approaches. Errors can be reduced through human-centered approaches, such as training individuals, planning workflows, designing shifts, and even modifying the working environment. Smart design can significantly lessen the probability of errors. But as we strive to become astute medical practitioners, we must also remain aware of cognitive biases that may impact our investigations. These biases include oversimplification of contributing factors, overestimation of likely outcomes, overemphasis on certain factors, misjudgment of data prominence or relevance, a premature conclusion of analysis, and overconfidence in our interpretations.